I'm going to go ahead with the meeting beginning ritual.
起立，面向佛堂，参加三鞠躬、一鞠躬、再鞠躬、三鞠躬，参加各位点传是一鞠躬，开班一鞠躬，请坐下。Please be seated.
This is what the Sixth Patriarch said, 自性能生万法。自性 self-nature, 能 can, able to, 生 give rise to, give birth to, produce. 10,000 法 Dharma. Dharma as in manifestation in life. So the meaning is that your true self is the ultimate source of all the manifestations in your life, positive or negative. This includes all your problems, all your troubles. And if you don't understand what the Sixth Patriarch is saying, you would fall into the illusion that others are to blame when it is something that you have created for yourself ultimately. And the flip side is just as true. The good that you have done, you are the originator and the recipient. The illusion is that you're doing it for other people. So I wanted to present this slide again because it's important enough and also it's advanced enough that a lot of people will look at this and say, no, wait a minute, I'm not to blame for my problems. Other people are to blame. You know, the economy is to blame. The government is to blame. The current administration is to blame. Politicians are to blame. My boss is to blame. My neighbors are to blame. My coworkers are to blame. But everybody but not me. I'm never to blame. So that is the illusion. So the illusion and the other side of it is that I'm helping you. I am separate from you. Therefore, when I am extending a hand of assistance, I am doing you a favor. Now you owe me one. So that is the conventional way of thinking, but it is not the higher level of Tao Te Ching. Okay, so now the Western perspective. So this is a book that I recommend. It's called A Complaint-Free World. So written by Will Bowen. He used to be a Christian minister who preached at a church, at a small church in a Midwestern town. So I'm not sure that he's doing that anymore. I think he's become famous. I think he's now a motivational speaker. But when he was being a minister, he liked to speak of, biblical truths that derive the complaint-free world, i.e., Jesus has said that as ye seek, ye shall find. Whatever you look for, you're going to find that. Whatever you create with your mind, you will find that. So he liked to begin one of his sermons with a very old story, and this is in the book, A Complaint-Free World. I know that not everyone has seen or read this book, so for those that haven't, I would like to briefly go over the story that he likes to tell in his sermons. He says that there's an old story about two construction workers. They're friends, so they like to have lunch together. They take lunch together, so they take a break, and they go off and bring their lunchbox, and they sit down, they open up their lunchbox, and they have their lunch. So one of the construction workers, he opens up his lunchbox, he pulls out a sandwich, and he's like, meatloaf sandwich, oh, I hate meatloaf sandwich. The other construction worker says nothing. The next day, they do their usual thing. They have lunch together, and again, they sit down, and again, the construction worker, the first one, opens up his lunchbox, pulls out a sandwich. Again, meatloaf sandwich, oh, yuck, I hate meatloaf sandwich. And again, his friend, the other construction worker, says nothing. The third day, they are together for lunch, as always, and the construction worker once again pulls out the sandwich and, oh my goodness, every single day, day after day, the meatloaf sandwich. When will this ever end? Oh, so finally, his friend, the other construction worker, could no longer contain himself and said, listen, why don't you just have your wife make something different? something other than a meatloaf sandwich. And the first one says, what? What are you talking about? I make this myself. You know? So the point that Will Bowen wants to make is that we all create our own meatloaf sandwich, which we then complain about. It may sound ludicrous when it's told like a story, but it's actually a story that repeats itself again and again in our lives. So when he got famous, when he's telling the story, when he's preaching that sermon, he had other people coming to him, telling him about their life experience, and telling him about how it is so similar to what they have encountered themselves. So one of his friends, over coffee with him, tells him about his true real life experience with a real life meatloaf sandwich, but not exactly a meatloaf sandwich. Meatloaf sandwich in this case being a metaphor for a problem that we create ourselves. So what his friend said, well, first of all, let me pull that up, the story of the meatloaf sandwich. So what his friend said is that at work, at his office, they have a phone system, and everybody is using the phone system to retrieve messages that people have left with them. When they're out of the office, people call and will leave a voicemail. When they come back, they'll punch a few buttons, press 1 to hear your messages, press 2, and so on. So they'll do that. And one day they had an upgrade. So the idea was that, well, people are busy with their hands or typing on the keyboard. They may not be able to punch those, the keys on the keyboard, on the phone. So it will be better to give them the option of a voice command. So instead of pressing 1 for function X, pressing 2 for function Y, etc., the system will accept voice commands like play my message, delete message, and so on. Now, you got to remember, this is from like more than a decade ago, so it's not as sophisticated back then as it is today. Today, we've got Siri on the iPhone, on the iPad. We've got OK Google. We've got Google devices able to recognize that. You've got Cortana from Microsoft. You can say, hey, Cortana, and then you can ask a question. What's the weather like? What is the traffic like? What time is it? You can ask all kinds of questions. And then there's Alexa from Amazon. They've all gotten to a very high degree of recognition where they can understand what you're saying pretty much as well as a human being can. But back then, that wasn't the case. You had to speak clearly. You had to say it, enunciate just right, and there had better not be too much background noise. All of those things can throw it off. So the system was hit and miss. People would say, play message, and there would be nothing happening, or the system indicates that it doesn't understand, so they'll say, play message, play message, play message, play message, play message. So people got pretty fed up with this. And so this gentleman, his coworker in the next cubicle is a lady who hated the system. So she would be like, play message, and it didn't work. And then her next thing would be like, play message, damn it. The addition of damn it confuses the system even more. So she's not getting what she wanted. So there's going to be occasionally times when she's like, play message, damn it, where there's a delay between the cussing and the command, and the system is like, oh, okay, you want me to play the message. So every day for this lady was a struggle. Now, for the gentleman telling the story, he had uncovered very quickly the option to either have the voice recognition on or off. So you can go into the phone system, you can press a few buttons, you identify yourself with your PIN, and then it gives you like an administrative menu, and then it'll give you the option to turn off voice commands. When you turn that off, it goes back to the way it used to work, which is accepting keyboards on the phone, which everybody already knew how to do. So when this lady says, once again, one day, very exasperated, very angry, play message, damn it, he's being helpful. So he's like, hey, listen, you can actually turn that off. And the lady, not even turning around to speak to him or look at him, says, yeah, okay, listen, I'm kind of busy right now, okay? So he tries again later on. Hey, listen, I know you really hate the system, but you can actually turn it off, get it back to the way it was before. It doesn't even take that long. It doesn't even take a minute. I'm kind of busy, okay? So that's how it went with this lady for like a dozen times over a span of 2 years. Every day for her was a new struggling with the voice recognition, which never got better. And every day, once in a while, he would offer to help, and she would just basically brush him aside. So she was the construction worker that was creating the meatloaf sandwich every day that she absolutely hated. So that's the idea, and that's how it is connected together with this particular teaching from the Sixth Patriarch, that the true self is the beginning point, the origin, the source for all the dharmas, all the manifestations in your life. So the same story that plays out in life over and over again, and Will Bowen quotes lyrics from the Egos. There's a song called Already Gone, and the lyrics goes like this: we live our lives in chains, and we never even know we have the key. So literally, the lady in the next cubicle has the key to unlock the chains that bind her to this torment, this absolute hellish activity of trying to make the voice recognition work. She could have unlocked that chain anytime, but she wasn't even aware of it. And at the end of the day, Tao is about cultivating that awareness.
Let's go ahead and do the meeting ending ritual, everybody. 起立，面向佛堂，持架三鞠躬，一鞠躬，再鞠躬，三鞠躬，持架各位顶传十一鞠躬，斜翻一鞠躬。Well done, everybody. Thank you so much.